What's good, fam? It is Thursday, relationship
Thursday.
realities. What's good,
hmm
Jammer?
What's happening? What's happening? I'm telling you, you got the best intro of any podcast. That
I
beat drop
love
is dumb.
it.
Every single time I think it's over, then that beat drop. I'm like, oh, I forgot about that beat drop. Then I'm over here. Then I gotta do my jig because I'm like, man,
Do your
that gets me
jig.
ready for the show too. I'm like, man,
Let's
I'm
go.
prepared. What's happening though, Les? It's been a couple of weeks since I was able to
Yeah.
pop in. Been busy. Spring break, work, all kinds of stuff. People do got real 9 to 5. I don't know if people out there listening
You
understand.
know,
We some working Negroes at the same
tell them
time.
again.
We some
Tell them
working.
again.
Listen, I love doing this. It ain't paying the bills yet. Maybe one day that it will, but until it do, still got that 9 to 5.
Help us. Come on, y'all. Hit that like
Right.
button.
Help us.
So
Don't
we
matter
we
what
can give y'all more.
It don't matter what higher power that you pray to. Like tell that deity, we need assistance over here.
Yes.
A
Yes.
helping hand.
Yes.
Hit that
Well,
like
for
and
anybody
subscribe.
who is new, welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome to Relationship Realities, where we like to have fun, we laugh, we get real, all so we can help
hmm
you establish and maintain a healthy relationship. Relationship
Healthy.
Realities, we are live every Thursday at 7, 8 Eastern. Today we was a little late, lives have to,
Life.
feed the little ones.
Oh man, right. You can't let them go without a meal. You can't let them eat too late either. Like they like gremlins. You feed them after a certain time, they gonna start to expand and do everything else. So nah, she telling the truth. Like you got to feed them young ones like at a very specific. Like you can't go past a specific point in time.
Point. Mm-mm. No, not at all. Not at all.
Even if it's
Before we
some
get into our
Tyson
first
chicken nuggets.
topic, let's make sure we shout out today's sponsor, which is texasbrownsugar.com. Make sure you check out the website. There are lots of resources, free resources as well as paid. And there's a couple of items on there you might like. Check it
hmm
out. Before we get into the main topic, because the main topic, man, I don't know. We just gonna get to it. But to start tonight off, man, Phylicia Rashad, shout out to Phylicia
Salute to
Rashad, got
Felicia
on the
Rashad.
Breakfast Club. And it's a lot of women now that want to cancel her for what she said. Let's check out what she said.
You came up in an era, Miss Rashad, where dignity and grace.
Now, mind y'all, this is Breakfast Club, so y'all gonna have to be patient with us as we pause ever so often so we don't get a copyright strike. All
Say
right,
that.
Breakfast Club. So
Amen.
we gonna pause ever so often for a little commentary. Be patient with
Pause.
us.
Right.
Ah.
Where everything. So do you ever look at how wild Hollywood is now, and you just think to yourself, boy, y'all got it easy. Y'all wouldn't have got away with that in my day.
Yeah, you'd have a
Wild. I mean, let's not say wow, like outrageous.
hmm
All the stuff that's coming up now.
The fact that Charlemagne said that is even
I mean, I was
more
waiting for her
rich.
response for this one.
hmm
look at Hollywood. I could look at the way young ladies dress.
Mm.
Knew I should have wore some other pants.
You got your
I'm
abs
not
out.
talking
You see what
about
I'm
that.
saying?
Cover
You
the
good?
day.
I'm
Got my
talking
knees
about.
out.
I'm
See,
talking
not near
about.
elbow,
I'm
shoulder
talking.
over here. I
I'm,
just, you want my coat?
the young ladies are so beautiful.
hmm
They're so beautiful, and something has happened in popular culture.
Something's happened in popular culture. Let's just say everything has happened
everything has
in
happened.
popular culture.
So anything goes.
You know, and I don't mean to be critical, and I hope young ladies listening don't take this as personal criticism, because I don't mean it that way.
Mhm.
But
But sadly enough, somebody
They
gonna take
did.
it personal. And they have, apparently.
you're young queens. I'm taken aback when I see on a college campus young women dressed in strips of clothing.
Mm.
But more importantly than that, no man wants his woman to be out like that.
This is coming from a lady. She just
That's a
and a
ladies' lady.
wise, seasoned lady who
That's a
said, "Don't no
ladies'
man
lady.
want a woman dressing like that." Jeremy, hey, I'm gonna have to definitely get your take on that one.
For sure did.
Right?
No, I grew up on Method Man saying, wearing 3/4 of cloth, never showing your stuff off. Boo. That's what he said.
That's right.
But not only that, you know, it's like there's today's designers. I mean, there's ways. You know, there are other things, and I just
Leave something to the imagination.
Yeah.
it would be nice.
Some things are for my eyes only, you know?
Yep. And like you said, there are ways of being sexy without showing so much.
Oh, please. And this
And that makes me wonder: is the word there a new definition for sexy now? Because some of the stuff they saying sexy ain't sexy to me. I mean, you know, hey, to each his own.
really not sexy.
I mean, one of the most sexiest, most beautiful pictures is you. I forgot what year it was, but you got on like a basketball jersey and like some jeans, you eating some popcorn.
100%
That's an iconic
Is
picture.
it the white jersey?
Yes.
That was yeah. That we did.
That is a
Brown
beautiful
Burgundy
picture.
jerseys
That's
for
like
that.
that is the epitome of sexy.
Oh well, I think it has a lot to do with what they see.
Facts, man. Like
She's cooking already.
what they see. What are they seeing? Social media has just
This gone too far, man. Like
messed a lot of stuff up. A lot of stuff.
it was happening before that, but they took it to the next level though. It took it
I
to the
agree.
next level.
I agree.
What they're emulating what they see. See, we grew up in a time where you know the singers. These ladies were dressed down, darling. These women, whew, they were wearing robes and gowns and right?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, it's a little different today.
Yeah.
So, Jemmer, listening to Phylicia, do you think that there is the reason for the fashion divide is because of the generational divide, or is it something bigger?
I definitely think it's something bigger than the generational divide, but I don't want to dismiss the generational divide as being prevalent, because I think what she means by generational divide is humbleness, is like moral. I wish she would have said moral divide, because I think that's what she's really getting down to, because of how we came up. There's a moral divide. Like we grew up in a 2-parent household.
Yeah.
We grew up in an era where the neighborhoods raised us. You know,
Facts.
there wasn't a lot of, you know, we're separating ourselves from our neighbor, or plus we grew up in the church. That I forgot to even mention that. You know, I went to a neighborhood church.
No, you
My
can walk up
church-
in the church just with anything.
Yeah, like I could walk to my church every Sunday. You know what I'm saying? Like I was steps away. So I went to a neighborhood church. I lived in an all-black community. We all looked out for each other. So like my neighbors were my extended parents. You know, like I grew up with all the people I'm still close to people in my neighborhood today. We don't even live none of us live in the same city, but we all still close. But that's kind of like my point. Like there was a moral compass in black neighborhoods at some point to where this would have been unacceptable. And I think that's what Miss Rashad is saying. Even when you look at the Cosby Show, like it was based off of like how we grew up from like a moral perspective,
Yeah.
but also how the black family was structured. Even if the man wasn't in the picture, the man was still present. Man, I had like 4 or 5 of my aunts was divorced, but I knew my uncles. They all
Yeah.
came around. I
Yeah.
still called them my uncles even when they was divorced. Like still see some of my uncles today. That's my uncle. Always gonna be like they family. Like we don't.
Yeah. Yeah.
But now when we disassociate people from the family, like they gone. Like there's beef. Sometimes
Mm.
there's tragic beef. And I think where she's going with this is what is causing the mental divide with not just women, but men too. Now it bleeds into social media. Plus, on top of that, in the 2000s, you had commercialism, where every commercial that came out was like some L'Oreal stuff. And salute to Queen Latifah, but I remember the Queen Latifah L'Oreal commercials where they had her looking like, they put so much makeup on her, like she was two, 3 shades lighter. So
Lighter.
then
Yeah.
we started kind of pushing like the whole light skin thing, and that goes to like Cat Williams' point, where he was talking about how every dude got the same looking wife, which is true, because that's what's being pushed on black males. Look at the IG models.
Mm.
What's their complexion? And,
Yeah.
and and I'm not saying that's not beauty. I'm not taking anything away from those women at all. But
Right. 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 Right.
we've devalued melanin. And that's kind of like the
Mm.
point. Like there's such a devalue in melanin where nowadays somebody who looks like my mama is not going to be considered beautiful. And that to me is sad because you even have kids like saying, "Oh, I don't really want to. She's too dark for me."
Yeah. Yeah.
That was kind of happening at the end of our era, which is sad. I was remembering being in college where some of my homies, it's like,
Yeah.
yo, light skinned shorty over there, just a beautiful dark skinned lady just walking right on past and not even getting a look. So we've been blinded by perception, commercialism,
Agree.
social media, lack of church presence, lack of black culture. This is why, like, when we talk about like the whole Doge stuff, getting rid of like black
Mm.
history, all that stuff to me, they've been trying to erase blackness for years. It all
Years.
goes back to the people who's pushing the agendas. That's what we being marketed. Like, look at the makeup color spectrum. It's all the lighter makeups that's being marketed. Like, if people just open their eyes, they can see this. Like, Phylicia Rashad was really, she was spitting facts. And salute to Phylicia Rashad, still a beautiful woman at her age with the
Still
salt and
looks
pepper.
good.
Still elegant. She just sounds just so pleasant, so sweet. That's what
Yes.
men want. Like, you want to end up at a time and a place in your life where you got a Phylicia Rashad. You know what I'm saying? That's why you got all these 75-year-old dudes trying to holler at the Nicki Minaj looking girl. And it's like even they being bamboozled and hoodwinked. So, and I get it. There's things that we need to work on as people, like as
Yeah.
far as like how we approach relationships. I'm not saying that we're perfect, but I do think there is an element of what we're being pushed and how we're being hoodwinked into thinking a certain thing is beautiful over like
Beautiful.
the color spectrum is being tossed in our face way more. But then we get blamed for it though. That's the crazy part. Like they blame us for the race baiting when it's really
Mm.
not us. It's not been us for a long time. But I'm gonna let you go in though, Les.
No, you are really truly spitting facts. I mean, the community as a whole, you know, to your point of like it took a village to raise a child. Like everybody raised you, the play uncle on the corner to grandma, big mama 3 houses down.
Brother
And
Charles, Brother Johnson was helping.
don't come up in the church dressed a certain way or do
Oh, you
something,
gonna get talked about.
baby.
You're gonna get
Everybody can
pulled to
get
the
it.
side.
Now, I'm not sure what's wrong with a lot of these parents, but they don't want nobody to say anything to their kids. And
Yep.
and like if your child is wrong, your child is
It's
wrong.
wrong. Like wrong
Straight
is
point
wrong.
period. If your child is dressed inappropriately, your child is
Mm-hmm.
dressed inappropriately. And so going back to the topic of fashion, I say all of that about the community
Mm-hmm.
and how, there it doesn't seem to be a community anymore,
Mm-hmm.
that we have become so self-centered
Facts.
that we do and say as we please, which has to me allowed people to dress the way they want to dress,
Mm-hmm.
despite what that may look like
Mm-hmm.
for the family or for your spouse. Like,
Mm-hmm.
why do I have to look a certain way for my
Mm-hmm.
husband? Because that's your husband and that's what he
Mm-hmm.
likes to see you in.
Yep.
I believe in the group chat, I believe Lil Duval posted a picture on Twitter of a loosely dressed woman and asked the question, would you want to walk around with your woman dressed like this? And I had to laugh because I'm like, that's exactly what Felicia is getting at.
Mm-hmm.
And well, it's a way of self-expression to an extent. I get it. And I also believe there's a time and place for everything too.
Factuals.
She made a good point when she referred to the fact that they dressed down to the T, like they were always fly. We got women and children going to the stores with pajamas, slippers, and a bonnet on. So
Mm-hmm.
much so that my children at one point thought that was normal. That was the thing to
Mm-hmm.
do. I
Mm-hmm.
quickly addressed that. And as I've said before in the past, whether you like it or not, people judge you based on your appearance.
Mm-hmm.
Because as a human, psychologically, we are trained to put people in classes. If you are dressed Gucci down to the socks, they put you in
Stratification.
one category. You dress with a bonnet and pajamas, they put you in another category.
Mm-hmm.
And whatever category they put you in, that's how they treat you
Mm-hmm.
initially. Whether you like it or not, that is how the human psyche works.
That's that perception.
So if you want to continue to walk around scantily, guess what? That's how people are going to
That's how they're
treat
gonna
you.
how they treat you. Yeah.
You cannot be mad at these people because that's how they perceive you.
Mm-hmm.
It's just how the human brain works. Is it right? No.
Mm-hmm.
But that it is what it is. And I try to tell my girls all the time, even to the point where when we're at the gym and they're with me and I'm done. And the first thing I do, I'm putting on spraying perfume and body spray and just so I don't have all that sweat on me if we go into a store. And they're like, well, mama, why are you doing all of that? Perception,
Mm-hmm.
perception, perception, perception.
Perception is everything, man.
Not to mention, I don't want to have to go off on nobody
Yeah.
because they made the wrong perception about me
Yeah.
either.
It matters for us when it comes to jobs and everything. And you said like a key word, self-expression. This is where this is again, not to even get political at all. And I consider myself someone who does not have a political affiliation, but this is where I have to like truly like grill some people on the left
Mm.
because while we all agree, self like self-expression is a key to happiness. It really is. But we've turned self-expression into acceptance. Like we can't judge it, not judge. We can't talk to somebody like we did in the neighborhood and say, "Hey, man, like what you doing? Them pants is sagging. That ain't it. That ain't it, fam." Like that's not acceptable now. That's not acceptable at all. So the fact that we even have to have these conversations today is the reason is where we're at today. Because now we're told it's wrong to tell somebody what they're doing, how they're acting. That's why it's hard for you to take your kids somewhere now.
Yeah.
You know, I remember one time I took my son to the park. You thinking the park is a safe place. You know, we get there, I'm seeing dudes kissing, chicks booed up. I'm like, I gotta go ahead and turn around and go somewhere else. You know, like, you know, being an adult and being a parent, like, really kind of like takes you back to how I'm so blessed to be raised how I was raised, because
Yeah.
I can only imagine if I came up and hey, man, self-expression, I accept how you are. Cool. Then I wouldn't even be able to teach my son anything. Like there would be nothing for me to really impart, no wisdom to impart, because you're basically telling me I have to accept how he is. No, I don't have to accept that. That's foolishness, because I understand the consequences. You just said it. Perception.
Perception.
Perception. I can't let him be out in this world loose. Then he's trying to make a career, but then somebody's seen him or there's a post on social media. He's done forever. You're a walking billboard. We say that stuff all the time. You know, how you advertise yourself to the world is how you're perceived. You said those in so many different words, you know, but nowadays, like, we can't tell people like how they really should be. We can't get back to the morals. And I think that's what Miss Phylicia Rashad was really trying to say too. It's like,
Yeah.
we have no moral compass. We just let everything go. And that's just, it's sad, you know. I don't know what we can do to get back to having one and to having an acceptable one. Maybe something like tragic has to happen in order for that to really take place. We're a very reactionary society now.
Yeah.
You know, we just kind of react to what's good and what's bad. And we kind of like, we want to be in the middle because nobody wants conflict. Like people are so afraid of, you know, conflict. But conflict should not stand in the way of building communities, though. Because right now, a lot of things we have is broad. And I don't want to say negative. I mean, I'm a proud American. Don't get me wrong. I don't want to be anywhere else currently. So, but I'm just saying, like, as far as like being able to really do what we do to teach, it's hard to do this openly because people
Yeah.
reject this as if we're being bougie or as if we're trying to enforce ideology on somebody. But really, it's game. It's free game. Because that's how we came up.
Yeah.
My OGs, my uncles, you know, my dad's friends, they all gave me wisdom. They told me about their experiences, the don'ts. Hey, man, don't do this. Don't be like me.
Yeah. Yeah.
My dad's best friend, Skip. I call him Uncle Skip. He had 6 kids, like when he was young, by 3-4 different women. He always used to tell me, "Don't be like me, son." He would always tell me that. Before I went to college, before I went to Vincennes, he gave me a box of condoms. He said, "I'm gonna tell you, don't be like me." Like, but it sounds wild, but I appreciated that though, because
Yeah.
every time he seen me, it was like he was telling me what I should not be doing because he did it, and I appreciated that. Like, we don't get that no more.
No.
We don't.
Because everybody want to cancel you like they trying to do with Phylicia. And I've said this many times. Marriage is not for everyone. And that's okay. Just like that message may not have been for you. And that's okay. But you don't have to cancel the lady
Factual.
because she is providing you her opinion and letting you know how it was for her and how she feels and probably knows based off her experience dealing with men.
You said it. Seasoned. She's seasoned.
Season, what it is. And what
seasoned,
is so
successful
hard for us to accept someone else who does not think like us and be okay with the fact that they don't think like you and may never think like you? That's okay. And maybe that message wasn't for you, and that's okay.
That's fine.
Moving on, because more and more, it seems like this whole fashion topic is tying into a lot of things. How you're first perceived. And the question for this topic, a young lady gives a comment on Pop the Balloon, the infamous Pop the Balloon. And it's interesting because, and what I'm kind of appalled by is this young lady is a little bit older. I think she was like 35 or so. And she had this comment that sounded like she was more like 24. Let's see what this interaction.
And why did you end up popping your balloon?
It's giving a little studious. Maybe you read books on vacation as opposed to maybe, it's just giving studious
Okay.
to me.
Mind you, she's 34 years old. 34, y'all.
Studious. Maybe you read books on vacation as opposed to maybe, it's just giving studious
Okay.
to me.
Like his outfit?
Just the whole vibe. I like the glasses. I actually really do, but it's definitely giving very book reader when I want to maybe turn up a little bit. Yeah,
Okay.
that sounds
So I guess basically what you're saying is my outfit seems like I read a lot of books. Is that what you're saying?
I wouldn't say your outfit, just the whole vibe gives a very
What does that mean?
you're more into maybe staying in, reading books, very kind of that. Yeah, I guess I'm not.
I mean, you're an author.
Yeah, I'm an author. But
He's an author.
But-
It's giving author. It's giving author. And this is not a bad thing. That's actually amazing. That's incredible.
Was it not a bad thing?
It was definitely an insult the way that she was going in.
That you are. Congratulations on that. But for me personally, it's not my vibe.
do you not? I'm just, and it's cool. We don't.
I love books, but,
yeah. Do you not like intelligent
I'm-
men or?
I absolutely do. But it's just giving a vibe that.
Okay, that's cool. I don't want to pressure it or anything. I'm
No,
just
yeah.
curious on what it is.
And I
But trust me,
really
it's
do
not
hope you
that.
don't take that
It
the
is
wrong
that, but
way.
it's
Not
that.
like, but just it's given a vibe that.
That's cool. It's cool. Preference. It's trust me, you cool. You cool.
No, she's someone that's your type.
I do like your shape. Got it. You.
And after that, he had positive comments to say. So, Jammer, was her comment about him being studious and giving book reader vibes, was that an insult, a comment, or a polite rejection, or all of the above?
No, it was like all of the above. I mean, it was more of an insult because of how she started that off. Because she made it seem like it was a negative. Because she squeezed in, I kind of want to turn up. As if I can't be an author and turn up. It's like, does Hooper, does football player equal turn up? Like, I don't understand what you're talking about. That's why I said, like, when she said giving off a vibe, how can you know what vibe somebody's giving off if you literally just met them for the first time? Because he could have been a rapper. You know what I'm saying? Like, he could have been anything. Like, people do troll. Like I think that's what she don't understand. Like he could have took all that off and came out and been a completely different person. He could have been acting at that. So I that was wild to me. I mean, I don't think Shorty was being disrespectful. Like I don't think it. I don't think she was intending to be disrespectful.
Yeah, I agree.
I just think like the comment was insulting because of how it was conveyed. Like she should have been like, "Hey, like, like you seem like a really, really intelligent dude. I'm kind of more of like of a party girl. Like what do, and then you can kind of like lead that into another question. Like, well, what do you actually like to do, or what do you do for a living? Like, what is your occupation? Because I'm getting professional vibe, you know. But then she tried to like kind of like clean it up and say, oh, you're an author. Like that's no, almost like kind of like like he might be kind of like legit, but at the end of the day, she was like, I kind of want to party. But it's like, how would you assume that this man don't like to party, that he don't like to turn up? That might be his thing. Like he could be a savage on the low. But
Hey,
that's
on
the
the
that,
on the weekend, you know what I'm saying?
it bleeds into the whole
Book
perception
smart
thing.
might turn into turn up.
It's odd that being book smart is considered like like it's a bad word. Like she
At
said,
that
book
age,
smart.
though, that's what I'm
Right.
saying.
Like, why wouldn't you want somebody who actually could be your accountant at this, who got the head on the shoulder? Like, there's a balance. Like, if you like to turn up, you might need the dude who's a book smart. You need the yin. You the yang.
Say it again.
So you want somebody who's going to turn up with you and then cheat on you. That's, to me, that's what it sounds like she's looking for. She might be one of them people, and I'm doing the same thing she was doing. I'm just guessing now. She probably got about 2 kids. She probably been in a relationship before. May not have been married, but she may have been like engaged. A long engagement. Now she's ready to kind of turn up because she's ready to let loose. She got them kids, and some of them might be getting close to being out of the nest. But see, she seems like somebody who had some kids early in life. Like, so now she's ready to really turn up. I'm guessing I'm doing the same thing she was doing, but I'm not hating on her. If that's what she wants, that's what she wants. I just think it's a little short-sighted though to insult this man that you don't know and say he seems like a book reader, a bookworm, when you don't even know that. He could be a preacher. That don't mean he's smart. There's some grimy ass preachers out there too. He can be a deacon, but he's out there slaying all the head ushers, like that's
She
wild.
fumbled the bag on that one.
Straight fumble.
Fumbled the bag on that one because had she not have popped her balloon based off of aesthetics, she would have quickly found out. If you watch the show, I believe that was episode 47. If you watch the full episode, you find out that the gentleman owns several businesses and basically said, hey, I want my woman to be a part of my world, to be, you know, help me manage these businesses. It could have been set up for life,
Success, man. Like,
corporate America for the rest of the life.
you can argue he dodged the bullet.
Very true.
He dodged it. It's probably good. Like, she opened her mouth. He was like, oh, I'm good.
But I being not in my 20s anymore, I would have expected more from the young lady in her response. And who's to say that he wouldn't have been open to her providing some fashion sense and maybe helping him out so that he doesn't give off book reader studious. I don't know. It was a gentle letdown. I will say that. I don't think she meant any harm,
Yeah, I don't think she
but
meant
I
any
wish
harm either.
she
Like,
would have asked more
yeah.
questions.
Just be more inquisitive. I mean, because it's almost like
Yes.
you never met a Mason, or you never met like a somebody who's in the Divine Nine. Like a lot of those folks do dress up, like wherever. Like you're kind of like you're groomed in those fraternities to, you know what I'm saying, to stand out, like to be professional. Like that is the vibe. That's the goal. That's the look. You know,
Yeah.
so it's kind of like you must have never met people who's in these like social groups. I know, like my mom, she's in one of them like social groups with
Yeah.
distinguished women, but every time they meet, like they dress like they going to, they dress like, and but so a lot of them women got that purport, like they got that true paper, but that that's what Phylicia Rashad was kind of saying, like, you know, like when they dress like they dress like that Harlem Renaissance swag, like it's like, you know, like we professionals, like
Yeah.
most professionals dress the same. It's you don't have to be suit and tie, but it's like a very business casual look. Like there is a sector of people who dress like that. So for her to even like, it makes me question like, what type of people are you around? Like so you mean to tell me you don't know any black people at all who dress like this gentleman? I know quite a few.
Or who
And
read
it's,
books.
right, or who read, but like, yeah,
I'm sorry.
I'm glad she said she wanted to turn up, because that basically let me know what she was on, which is cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is cool.
Yeah. And
She made her intentions known.
maybe she was, tied up in her younger years, and now she want to let loose in the later years of her life. But I also wonder too, going back to, the topic last week where we talked about standards and expectations, and are they more about the character of the person? Because if your expectation is that he has to look a certain way, your looks only last for so long.
And they can be deceiving, very deceiving. Because
And they
again,
be
he could have
very
said, "Oh, girl, I
deceiving.
turn up. That's what, like that's what I
So,
do. I'm
so what
going to the
happens
juke
when they
joint as
don't
soon as
look
I
like
leave
that
here."
no more? You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Do you fall out
Exactly.
of love with them? Or do you not like them anymore because they don't look the same way? Again, ladies, we need to evaluate our expectations, our standards. Because, again, you can only judge the person within the first 5 minutes on the show. But based off of what he was saying, he's got his stuff in order. He just
Yeah.
a bride by his side.
Yeah. I mean, if you're willing to make that type of leap after just looking at somebody, like you've already failed. Again, because I've always told that just networking, like never judge a book by its cover. You know, like I can't tell you how many people I've talked to in airport bars, how many people I've talked to at conventions, people I don't know, and then you find out the type of things that they do in life. It's like, man, I didn't. This is off the chain. People, you would look at me like, oh, this person probably just coming off a high or something, and then you like talk. It's somebody who be like a CFO of a Fortune 500 company, you know, who's man, you can never judge a book by its cover. You
Never.
can't. And that's why you have to be able to hold. I feel like we need to evaluate how we conversate, just how we communicate with people,
Ooh.
because I feel like this was a flaw in her communication skills, because she automatically went into a situation where she's blinded by appearance, where it should have been like, let me just talk. You know, it's like you can't just have a conversation with somebody without judging. Like
Yeah.
that's definitely a flaw. That's a big flaw. That's I can tell you're not a professional. Like maybe you're a cook at Waffle House, but that's not professionals don't really do that. Like especially people who like network a lot. Like there is no because that one network where you like, well, that's to say that one person where you skip because you felt they was on some other might be the one person in the room who was the person A who had all the bread and who had all the the knowledge. But you just skipped them because you was like, nah, you got the bookworm, you got the book reader.
Because he ain't got
Swag,
his
I'm good.
pants sagging down his behind and
I'm good.
tripped in jewelry.
Man, that's off the chain.
I'm sorry. I'm just so disappointed in the older women on the show. I thought they was gonna come with it and represent. Dang it. Dang it. Dang it.
I mean, maybe she was like I didn't see this whole episode, but she could have been like the
She
one.
wasn't the only one that disappointed me on the show. So
I mean, I need to go back and watch that one then. That might be
Yeah.
a good one for me to go back and watch.
yeah. Moving on to our next topic. Y'all. Flag on the play.
Chiefs.
If you are not familiar with Mr. Xavier Worthy, he is a NFL wide receiver. Currently plays for the Chiefs, and he was drafted, I think, last year,
Yeah, he coming off his rookie
2024,
year.
and he got engaged to a young lady, Johnson. She is or was a track star, track and field, and they met while he was still at UT. And shortly, I think it was just last year, they got engaged. Man, and I was like, yes, I was rooting for this relationship. Well, apparently things didn't go so well with the relationship because he hired an investigator and found out that the young lady was cheating on him. He asked her to leave because they had, I believe, a house together. And he asked her to leave the house. And of course, he broke off the engagement. She got very upset. According to him, she started to basically fight him and pull his dreads out from his scalp. And when the police came, she indicated that she was the one that was getting abused, that he was hitting her and choking her. Long story short, he ended up going to jail for it. He had a great lawyer, was able to provide evidence that he was the one that was actually being assaulted, and the DA dropped charges. Okay, over with. Done, over with. Well, we find out on Monday that he is now suing her for property damages and for extortion, basically, because according to Xavier, she stole jewelry, she damaged his game room, she stole or damaged his car keys to his Rolls Royce and some other things. And I think it added up to $300,000. But he's actually moving forward and suing the young lady because for false, I don't even what you want to call it, false testimony. And he's asking for a jury trial
Whew.
for this. Um, Here's a short clip I want to share with y'all to show you that he, basically all charges were dropped. So I guess it's safe to say that the young lady was not being truthful. I'll just say that. Let's check this out. Let me get set up, y'all. Y'all can't hear nothing, huh? Here we go.
All right, thank you, Tom.
I'm gonna get it together, y'all.
She's
But
gonna get it together.
this basically made me kind of upset me to hear that this young lady would lie the way she did. But let's check out what they had to say.
All right, thank you, Tom.
Well, I can't get the audio to work. Ugh. We gonna have to pause for the calls, y'all. We'll share this later. But essentially, he was cleared of all charges. Cleared of all charges. So my question is, this modern day gold digging now? Like, while he was in jail, she did a lot in his house and took a lot of stuff. Do you think the lawsuit was smart, or do you think this is going to backfire on him?
No, I think it's smart. I mean, because listen, that's a reputational hit. Number one, she's hitting his pocket. There are like disciplinary actions the league can take. They've done it. Like, hell, I'm a Baltimore Ravens fan. I mean, they cut Ray Rice because he had the situation with his wife
Oh yeah,
at the casino in New Jersey,
yeah.
and he got let go after that. So, and this has been happening. Like Deshaun Watson, well, he was probably guilty what he was doing, but there's other situations where these guys have been hemmed up in situations with women, and they've either salary has, I mean, just took a skyfall, or they end up getting cut from the team because the team doesn't want to deal with the press. And this seems to happen at least once or twice a season to people. And, because we talked about it earlier, perception is everything, man. Like, I feel him on this. If he didn't do it, if he's innocent and this chick is trying to extort him, like, this really could screw his career up, especially a young player. I mean, he's just coming off his rookie year. He's just starting in the league. So if he gets blackballed, that's his dream. You know what I'm saying? Like, all the work that you put in to get to that point, it's like 0.002% of all football players make the NFL. He's one of them few.
Yeah.
And to have some random, not almost say random, I mean, he was engaged to her, but to have a person that you thought was your rock to literally try to ruin your career, yo, you getting sued.
Because she got caught for what she was doing.
She got caught for what she was, like, you getting sued. Like, he should continue. Like, this shouldn't be nothing dropped. Like, you keep that open, bro. Like, at some point, we got to hold people like this accountable. I feel like the lawsuit being dropped just gets her off the hook, unless there was something that would have been dug up on him. But I don't think he would have had any issues losing that. You got to keep that, man. 'Cause you got to, people like that have to pay. I don't feel like there's enough accountability for people who like blatantly lie like that. Because you trying to ruin somebody's career because you mad because of a selfish act. And that's the sad part. You know, like what I call this modern day gold digging. This is different to me because I feel like this is damn near criminal. Like this is modern day like savagery. Like you trying to like, because I don't know what she's really. Like, I don't know what she would have got out of it. Because he's in jail, but all you doing you locking a man away and you hurting his pocket, so you're not really going to get anything from it. Like this is stupidity, is what this is. Like you doing this is dumb. That's why I said to me this should be treated. She should be treated like a criminal. Is what she be treated. This is fraud to me. This is defamation. But basically, what this is like, this is what she's doing is wild. I wish she would have kept the lawsuit moving. You know, because this is. I mean, when you think about all the Stormy Daniels type people, you know what I'm saying? Not to say that Stormy Daniels is guilty. Like she won hers. Some of them other women won too.
Yeah.
But look, if you feel like you got a case, keep that moving, Xavier. Like to me, I feel like this is cutting bait almost. You know, it's like, do you think she's gonna write a tell-all book? No, man. Like you keep that going, bro. Like she. If I'm counseling him, like she's trying to ruin your career, bro. A career that you just starting. You know, she's trying to ruin your name. Like, you know, if you have children, like your children's name is going to be worthy. Like people are going to remember you for being the one who choked a woman. You don't want to be that guy, man. You got to make that chick pay.
So I was kind of torn when I was thinking about that question because I feel
I'm torn too still.
He's basically holding her accountable for what she did because it doesn't sound like the DA is going to go after her for the accusations that she made that were, I guess, in their eyes were false. I'm assuming because they did not, all the charges were dropped. And at the same time, I feel for him because I feel like if you continue with the lawsuit, you're just dragging out this heartbreak. It's bad enough that you find out like right before the Super Bowl that she's cheating on you. So your heart's broken there. Then she won't leave the house, according to Xavier. Heartbreak. Then y'all get to arguing. You get sent to jail. Heartbreak. And now you suing her. Heartbreak. And bringing that all back up again because you know it has to get brought back up in the trial. And so it's like, you know, what do you do? Do you stay with the process to help to hold her accountable? Or do you move on and learn from the situation?
I think some situations you can move on and learn. But after she tried to get him, he spent time in jail. Like his freedom was compromised. Like I just feel like in situations like that, that's different because I feel like her intentions were not just to hurt him. Her intentions was to try to make him suffer. That's different to me. Like I gotta sue you, shorty, for some stuff like that because that's different. Like I'm God. I'm one of God's creatures, but there's only so much I can do as a Christian man, like to prevent evil. Like that's an evil act. Like we got to remove evil from the streets because I feel like she's prone to do this to another man. Like at some point, it's like we can't.
I can see that.
This woman is trouble. We can't push her off on some other man, on some other who might get hoodwinked into believing, oh, she's changed, and the next thing you know, the same situation happened again. Because it's like, I think like to your point, it does rehash some things, but this could have been very serious for him. Like he really could. His career could have been gone. Everything that he's fought for, everything that you don't practice every single day You don't put that time in every single day to let an idiot ruin it for you for something you didn't do. Like I mean, I
Can you
wish
imagine
he
if he didn't have the money that he had to hire a good lawyer?
facts he would have been done. That's what I'm saying. Like people like that need to be removed from the streets, man. Like I feel like I'm not saying she should be in the ground. I'm just saying like, you know, that type that's damn near a white collar crime type of crime to me. Like you trying to ruin somebody's life. Like that's a different type of mental abuse. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like she would have had a gun, she would have pulled the trigger. Like that's if you're willing to go that far to say, oh, he hit me, he choked me, and put somebody innocent in jail because you feeling some type of way, and you already have done wrong. Like the doubling down that she did was just next level to me, and I just feel like people like that should be held accountable in a different way, financially. Like she should have been sued to where anytime she get a check, it goes to that dude for a long time. Like that's
Well,
a
she got to
lesson that
pay
has
that
to be
three hundred
learned.
thousand back. I think they
Yeah,
said it could go all the way up to a mil.
yeah. She needs to learn the hard way. This is a hard way to learn, but this is justified though, and this would be due justice for him. You know, like let's remove the cheating and all that type of stuff from it. We talking about like you trying to risk somebody's freedom, you know, because you wrong. You know what I'm saying? Like that's unacceptable. It should be unacceptable for us all, you know. And we want to protect. We want to be able to protect our people, man. Especially if somebody ain't done nothing wrong. You know, it's like, okay, you cheated on him. Like, move on, keep it moving. You know, you doing the most damage by initiating the scuffle, and then saying he did it. Like, whew, boy, she committed a crime, man. Yeah, because you can do more
So,
damage to somebody mentally than you can
can
physically
you,
sometimes.
man, facts.
Long lasting mental damage too.
So, what do you think? You know, because I always like to go back to lessons learned. What do you think? I don't want to say normal people, but non celebrities could learn from this?
It's really about making sure that you have your head on a swivel and that you have enough of a presence to be able to say, you know what, I'm gonna take this L tonight, but I'm gonna fight this one. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna fight this one because at the end of the day, like, yeah, normal people don't have that bread, but normal people can also not forget and continue to fight that. You know, because that again, if this is a normal person, we talking about lost job, potentially losing family, potentially losing a lot, you know, that you don't already have, and you talking
Yeah.
about not being able to recover from it. And I just feel like you hopefully you got enough receipts to where you can kind of come back and press some charges on that. But sadly to say, Les, I mean, if this was a normal person, I think it would have gone the opposite direction.
I, I definitely think that there probably were some red flags. Hence the reason why he
Okay,
hired
so we
a
talking like front at the front line.
at the
We
front.
should have noticed these things. Okay,
Like I
evaluate.
think
I'm with you
we
there.
get so googly in love that a lot of common sense kind of like goes over our heads.
Yeah,
And that's
he
why it's
probably looked
important to
past some
have
things.
like your partners, your ride or dies, your chicks for life to sit you down and be like, we got to talk, be real. Like, these are some red flags that I think you need to look out for.
Facts.
Like, there had to have been some red flags, because I cannot believe that she just all of a sudden one
Just
day
turn
turned
into
the
this
switched
person.
on and started fighting.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there
Yeah.
had to be something.
Facts.
And so, lesson here for me, man, watch for those red flags. Speaking of red flags, if you check out my website, enter your email address, there is a free 99 checklist of green flags and red flags to look out for in a relationship. And I think that's key, that he kind of dropped the ball. And maybe his mama tried to help
I'm
him.
not
Maybe
saying that. Yeah, we got to call him out on that. That's
but
a very good
we
point.
have to watch out for these
That's
red
a very good point,
flags.
Les. Not to say call him out as if he's to blame. It's
Oh,
really
no,
more
no,
so
no.
when you're talking about lessons learned, it's making sure you evaluate properly, like, and taking your time, man. Like, don't look at the beauty and think, okay, I can look past some of these things. But that probably is the lesson for him. That's probably the ultimate lesson. It's like, because we know he looked past something that he's seen before, or something that he heard. I'm pretty sure he's seen Shorty's social media, like what she was doing. You know, like, I'm sure she came on to him, like, you know, telling them what type of power couple they can be, what they can do together. You know what I'm saying? There was probably a lot of things that she said that sounded great on top of her looks.
You saw her, she had a vlog where she was
Yeah.
talking about the day in the life of a fiance, you know, at spring training, I believe it was. Like, man, she could have got bread
She could have had it
for
made. She just
just
would have
vlogging, period.
just blogging, period, and just playing,
Sponsorships
just play
galore.
your position. Like, you know, it's unfortunate. I mean, I hate it for Xavier that he had to go through it.
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of one of them things, man. You a target when you're an athlete, when you're a celebrity, you a target. But to your point, Les, there's red flags, and hopefully this was just a huge learning lesson for him. Nobody wants to be in jail for something they didn't do. So I can only imagine, like, mentally, he's probably thinking all is lost.
Yeah.
He's probably
yeah.
thinking about, and luckily, at least in the NFL, I will give them credit for this. They wait for the system to do its thing before then they'll do their own investigation. So the NFL Players Association, they have their own investigation. There's different ways that they can actually protect the players. So it's not always up to the police, of course, especially if he ends up not getting arrested, because there's other players who have been hemmed up for similar things, and they was actually the root cause of it, but they were still able to get off because there was an investigation done either by the team, the league, and maybe they got suspended for like 4 or 5 games. You know, that's probably the best outcome if you're a player, but to have to actually spend some time in jail, that's the worst outcome.
Do you think he's going to set a precedence? You think other men will follow through when they've been falsely accused?
Absolutely. We're probably going to see some men who end up countersuing, like now, like people who's gone through the system. Matter of fact, Marsalis Wiley, he has a podcast. He's a former NFL football player, but he was accused for like sexual misconduct. I think it might have been like a Fox Sports or ESPN, one of them platforms he was. But he ended up being found innocent. But he's thought about like countersuing. Because like, hey man, like y'all almost ruined me. I had to go through all of this. So he's somebody who has a perfect prism of how this works end to end. Like having to have enough receipts in the bank to protect yourself, smart enough to be able to speak intelligently about it, and also smart enough to have some good lawyers around, rich enough to have some good lawyers around you. But I think men should do this. Women too. Like if you are somebody who's falsely accused of anything, like, and you've had to experience some type of like trauma because of it, whether it's financial trauma, mental trauma, like you should get some get back from that because you was held against your will, either financially or your freedom, and that's not fair for any human being. They
Yeah.
should have the opportunity to not only present their case, but win financially. Because a lot of people take financial hits because of that.
That
We've
you
seen
know,
men spend 30, 40 years in prison
prison,
because of it.
that part. A lot of people are also making the correlation of Travis and saying, man, this is what we've been saying. This is what we want you to avoid. Do you think that Travis is now like, dang, man, got caught up? Maybe I need to protect myself. Maybe I need to look at my red flags. Does it cause men to think about their own situation?
Yes, but man, Travis is in such a different situation. I I can't say Travis is looking at it,
Yeah.
but maybe somebody more on a Xavier Worthy level who's just dating somebody who's not at the level of, I mean, it would be odd for Taylor Swift to pull this stunt because she don't have to. Like, because she can find her another Travis. Like, it's kind of like, I think he's in more of a safe haven. Now, I'm not
Well,
to say that he can't be accused
I'm talking
of
about
something.
Travis Hunter.
Oh, Travis. Oh, I'm sorry. We
I
talking about
apologize.
that
I
Travis.
forgot there's
No,
more
I
than
don't know
one
why I was thinking about
Travis.
Travis Kelsey because the same team. That's the only reason why
Yeah,
I was
yeah,
thinking about
yeah,
Travis. Travis Hunter should definitely be looking at this situation like. And there's been a
yeah.
lot of
Definitely,
there's been
huh?
a lot of receipts out there online of your shorty bugging. So like, but a lot of dudes have told him, a lot of OGs have told him this, and
Yeah.
he's pushing back like, stay out of it. But it's kind of like, hey man, like you on your own then, bro. Like you live and you learn. Hopefully you don't learn the hard way though.
I
Hopefully
know.
you
I
don't learn the
like,
hard way.
man, I hope he doesn't end up in a similar
But I feel
situation.
like he is though. I hate to say that because I want to have more faith.
Yeah.
I just can't. I can't for the life of me have more faith because I feel like this is not going to end well for Travis. Cause we all see the flags.
Yeah. 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 And just we want to reiterate, if you are involved in a domestic situation, definitely seek help.
Help,
There are
please.
plenty of resources online for you to seek help and for you to get out if you are in a domestic situation, both men and
And women.
female. We definitely don't play lightly about that. And to end it, I just want to say I'm disappointed in her as a woman because people like that who make false accusations make it way harder for those who
They actually
actually
are going through it.
are going through it to be able to have the courage and drive to actually report it, not thinking, will they believe me? You know what I mean? So I was a little disappointed in the young lady, and I expected more. And I was really, really rooting for them as a couple. I thought, 24, and I think he's what, 21. Young. They maybe you need to live life a little bit more before you know, jump on the
Like you said,
marriage
marriage ain't
ride.
ready for
But
everybody. Like, yeah, I mean that needed some seasoning, you know.
yeah, yeah.
And I hope Shorty gets it together. I mean, I know I was going in on her, but
But
it's a
again,
tough
it's
situation.
it's accountability. Like
Yeah, yeah, you got to be held accountable,
you
man. I
playing with
mean,
people's lives, and we got to
lives,
stop doing that.
livelihood, everything.
Yeah,
You know,
I'm sure with him, if he were to be locked up, he would not be the only one affected by that. You know what I mean? And I both of them. I hate to see that, and the fact that it's they got to live it on social media and TV. But
yeah,
wish
I'm
him good
sure
luck.
Xavier don't want to relive that. You know, he got
Nah.
a locker room full of teammates and coaches where, not to
Ooh.
say they're gonna bring it up. I mean, actually, they probably doing all they can to kind of like help him. You typically like the locker room is like
Yeah.
family, like that's where you kind of like hash things out. It's one of the beautiful things about sports is that camaraderie that you have in the locker room. Those are like your brothers, that's your family,
Yeah.
and they always gonna be there to support you. So that's probably what he needs right now. Honestly, is that support structure of having 50 other men in that locker room. I'm pretty sure out of those 50, 10 of them have gone through the same thing.
Yeah.
It just wasn't reported. So he's in a safe haven. I mean, he's probably the best place he could be at right now is in that football locker room.
Yeah.
That's the safest place he can be. And he can get his mind off of it and just focus on what he needs to focus on, which is being the best football player that he can be.
Facts. Well, Jammer, I appreciate you as always. And ladies and gents, thank y'all for joining us. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, the like button, help the channel out. We'd love to hear from you. Let us know what you want us to talk about. And in the comments, let us know, was Xavier's lawsuit, was it smart? I don't know. Let us know.
Let us know.
Until then, we will see y'all later. Have a great weekend, y'all.
Peace, peace, peace.